And we always tell people that it's important for you to know what job you're going after. But
Yeah.
today, we're going to talk about something a little bit different and talk about why job titles really don't matter that much. Now, why, Kip, do job titles not matter? All the time I hear you tell people, you got to know what you're aiming at. You got to know if you're
Yeah.
going to be a cybersecurity analyst or you're going to be a system administrator or, whatever it's going to be.
Pen
And
tester,
now here
whatever
we
it
are telling
is.
people they don't matter.
Yeah, I know. We're talking out of both corners of our mouth on this one. I could see why people might think that. Well, so the idea here is that you actually need to hold both of these thoughts in your mind. And let me just recap why it's important to know your job by title. We've encountered so many people who come to us and say, "Well, I want a job in cybersecurity," and we're like, "That's great. We're happy to help you." And but what they don't realize is that there's more than just one type of cybersecurity job. They don't get that in the beginning, many of them. And so, we've done a lot to help people understand what the different opportunities are. And for example, we've got a lot of back episodes in the Your Cyber Path podcast that you can go and listen to, where we actually broke down what are the typical services of a cybersecurity organization in a large-ish company, and really started to break out all of those roles. So it is important to know the job by title when you first say to yourself, I want to get a cybersecurity job. But once you've crossed that hurdle, which you have, then there's another realization you've got to have, which is just because you know the job by title doesn't mean that all jobs with that title are the same. And so what I'm really encouraging people to do is to dig into the job descriptions to make sure that they're comparing apples to apples, because the reality is that there's a lot of variability and you could be comparing an apple to a watermelon. If you're not careful, if you just assume that all these jobs are really the same at the end of the day, then you could, well, first of all, you might not even get the job, because when you make your application and you don't realize just how different it is, you're going to be sending a single type of resume to different companies, and so you're going to kind of undermine yourself. And then secondly, if you get the job and you show up, you might find out it's just a wildly different experience than what you expected. I don't want either of those things for you, people who are watching this and wanting to get in cyber. So yeah, so I hope that at a high level anyway explains why job titles are very important and job titles are not very important.
Yeah, definitely. And I think to bring this point home, that's what we're going to do today, is kind of go through, I think you picked out 5 different job positions that all have the same basic title of cybersecurity analyst, but they're for 5 different organizations. And each one treats that job title or those functions a little bit differently. And I know I've personally experienced this in my own career. I went and took a job as a network engineer at one organization. And when I got there, they go, you know what? We don't actually need you to do network engineering where you're working on routers and switches all day long. Instead, we really want you to do almost a higher level function of network architecture to design the security controls and how we're going to do that. And then I passed that down to other network administrators who then implemented those controls across these devices. And so I thought I was going into a very highly technical position, hands-on. I'm going to work on routers and switches and firewalls all day long. And in the 2 years I was there, I don't think I logged into a router or switch, not even once, because I was so busy at the high level designing these things with all the security controls they needed. And they had other people that went in and did that work and actually did the configurations. And so it is really important to understand what job you're being hired for and to make sure it is something that is a good fit for you and what you were looking forward to doing.
Yeah.